Streaming live, Game 5 of the 1970 World Series replay between the Cincinnati Reds and the Baltimore Orioles. We are in the bottom of the fifth inning, and it's going to be the top of the lineup for the Orioles. The Orioles lead it by a score of 2-0, and they lead the series 3-1. So this could be all she wrote for the Cincinnati Reds. And pitching for the Cincinnati Reds is Jim Merritt, and for the Baltimore Orioles is Mike Cuellar. So Merritt pitching to Belanger, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and he looks in for the sign. He sets, and he deals to Belanger. Belanger swings. It's a line drive base hit for Mark Belanger, who's now 2 for 3 on the day. He stands at first base. It's going to be Blair squaring to bunt. And it's a ball that the catcher reaches, and he's going to go to second base, and they get Belanger at second. So it's a 2-6 fielder's choice. So Blair fails to get the bunt down to advance the runner, and he stands at first base. And Paul Blair is an A base stealer, and that would be a 1-15, so they're going to try to steal second. And there goes Blair, and he's safe at second. So Blair gets on base on a fielder's choice and steals second. It's Frank Robinson now with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 Baltimore. It's 4-8. It's going to be off Merritt. A 4-8. Let's pull up the card. A 4-8 is going to be a split die. And we're going to roll it's a 19, so it's a line drive base hit. And coming around third to score is Blair, so that's an RBI single for Robinson. And that's the third run for Baltimore. Baltimore leads at 3-0. We go to Powell now, Boog Powell, against Jim Merritt. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 is ball 4. And Merv Rettenmund, he homered. And it's a 2-9. A 2-9 is a strike 3. Second strikeout for Merritt. Brooks Robinson, he singled. 1 for 2. 4-6. A 4-6 is a high pop-up to the infield. Third baseman, Perez, is there for the third out. We go to the top of the sixth, and it's 3-0 Baltimore. In the top of the sixth, we're going to see Dave Concepcion against Mike Cuellar. Mike Cuellar hasn't allowed a hit so far in this game. Here's a pitch. It's a 1-6. It's a hard hit ground ball at Robinson. Over to first. 1 away. And Merritt is the batter now. Merritt is a 2 pitcher. We have a 2 hitting card for the pitcher here. And here's the pitch from Cuellar. It's a 3-9. A 3-9 is a ground ball to the first baseman. Powell is going to take it himself, unassisted. 2 away. That's going to be the leadoff batter, Bobby Tolan. Here in the top of the sixth inning, 3-0 Baltimore. Pitch to Tolan. It's a 5-8. A 5-8, that's off Cuellar's car, and that's going to be hit to the second baseman, Johnson. But it's an X. Johnson is a 2. We rolled a 15. So a 15, it's an error. It's off the heel of his glove. It rolls away, and Tolan is on at first on an error by the second baseman, Johnson. And that's the second error of the game for Baltimore. So 2 out. Tolan is at first. It's going to be Pete Rose. Pete Rose is 0 for 2. So pitch from Cuellar. And it's a 4-4. A 4-4 is a pop-up to the infield, to the right side. First baseman Powell makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-0 Baltimore. Johnson's 2 for 2. It's a 4-4 fly ball. Right field. Rose. 1 away. Etchebarren is 1 for 1. Sacrifice fly. It's 5-7. And that's a split die. That's a deep to right field. Going back is the right fielder, Rose. Rose to the track, to the fence, and makes the catch. Deep drive by Andy Etchebarren. But Rose makes the catch. And it's going to be Cuellar. Cuellar is a 1 hitting pitcher, so we're going to get that batting card. A 1. And it's a 2-7. A 2-7 is going to be a strikeout. Third strikeout for Merritt. And we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's 3-0 Baltimore. This will be Tony Perez. He struck out flat out. 4-3. See ball 4. Perez is on at first. John Bench hit 293 with 35 doubles, 4 triples, and 45 home runs. I believe he led the league in home runs in 1970. Here's the pitch from Cuellar to Bench. It's a 4-11, so off Cuellar's car. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher, but it's X. Cuellar is a 2. And we rolled a 13 on a 20-sided die. And that's going to be a ball that Cuellar handles easily. Throws to first. But that's over the first baseman's head, and that's going to roll all the way to right field. Rose chases it down. Over to third is going to go Perez. To second is going to go Bench. So Bench is on at second with a 2-base error. Now the Reds are threatening second and third without a hit so far. It's Bench at second and Perez at third, and the batter is going to be Lee May against Mike Cuellar. So the potential tying run is coming to the plate here. Game 5 of the 1970 World Series, and Cincinnati leads it. Baltimore leads it 3-1. So this is the potential elimination game for Cincinnati. Here's the pitch to Lee May. Cuellar 5-7. 5-7 is going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out Lee May. 1 away now. And it's going to be Hal McRae. McRae's 0 for 2. McRae batted .248, 6 doubles, 1 triple, and 8 home runs in 1970. So here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to Powell, and that's going to allow a run to score. May goes to third, and McRae picks up an RBI. So there's 2 outs now. On the top of the 7th inning. The score is 3-1. At third base is Bench, and the batter's Tommy Helms. He's 0 for 2. Here's a pitch from Cuellar. Say 110. A 110 to Helms is a pop-up to the left side. Shortstop Belanger calls for it. Third out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And it's going to be Mark Belanger, leadoff batter for the Orioles. Pitch from Merritt. It's a 6-10. It's a fly ball. McRae, 1 away. Blair, 0 for 3. 6-8. It's a line drive caught by the first baseman, May. Nice catch there by May. Hard hit line drive. And it's Frank Robinson, 1 for 3 with an RBI. He singled in the 5th. And it's a 1-9, a 1-9. It's a fly ball. McRae. And we go to the top of the 8th. 3-1 Baltimore. It's going to be Concepcion, a pinch hitter for the pitcher for sure, and then Bobby Tolan. The pitch from Cuellar. It's a 5-2. A 5-2 is a ground ball second baseman. It's a 1. Helms is a 2. That's a line drive that hit right at the second baseman, but he can't get to it to the outfield, and that's the first hit of the game. Concepcion gets an infield hit, or a hit through the infield, for the first hit against Cuellar here in the top of the 8th inning. Hard to believe. Three to one, and it's going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Bernie Carbo. So Carbo is going to hit for Merritt. Nobody out here. Concepcion stands at first. The pitch from Cuellar. It's a 1-5. It's going to be a split. It's going to be a line drive base hit over to third. Goes Concepcion. So Carbo singles. First and third, nobody out here, and it's going to be Bobby Tolan. There's action in the Baltimore bullpen. It's a 4-7, a 4-7. It's going to be a split die, a 17. It's going to be a line drive base hit. Into scores Concepcion. Over to third is going to be Carbo. And Tolan picks up an RBI. He's 1 for 4 now. And the score is 3-2 Baltimore. And that's all she wrote for Cuellar. It's going to be Eddie Watt. Eddie Watt is going to come in to pitch to Pete Rose. Runners on first and third, nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. Scores 3-2. Here's Eddie Watt pitching to Pete Rose. Pitch to Rose is going to be a 4 off Watt's card. And it's a 4-4. It's going to be a split die, and that ball is hit hard into the gap. And that's going to roll to the wall. Pete Rose is going to hustle into second base. The throw is not in time. So Tolan is going to stop at third. They're going to hold him up. The game is tied. Runners on second and third now. Rose at second. Tolan's at first. Score's tied at 3. And it's going to be Tony Perez against Eddie Watt. They're going to walk Perez intentionally. Bases are going to be loaded now. It's going to be Johnny Bench. Infield is in. It's a 5-9. A 5-9. See, ball 4. Cincinnati leads the game by a score of 4-3 now. Bases are still loaded. Bench gets an RBI. He's on at first. Lee May. Infield is in. Say 1-8. A 1-8 is a split die on Lee May's card, and that's an 18. That's going to be a line drive base hit. Around to score coming in is Rose, and around third base comes Perez. He scores. And to third goes Bench. And that's a 2-run single by Lee May. And it's 6-3 Cincinnati. Still no outs in the top of the 8th inning. Mike Cuellar came into the top of the 8th inning with a no-hitter. Gave up a hit through the infield. And we've seen 5 runs score with nobody out here in the top of the 8th for the Reds. The big red machine has been boosted with a turbocharge. And now it's going to be Hal McRae. It's still Eddie Watt in there. So he's allowed a double, an intentional walk, and a 2-run single to May. So 5-7. That's strike 3. First out of the inning. And it's Tommy Helms. Runners on first and third. Infield is still in. And it's 6-10. So it's 6-10. .610 is a fly ball center field. Center fielder is Paul Blair. It's a 1. We rolled a 4. And that's going to be a fly ball to Blair, who he makes the catch, and the runners are going to respect his arm, and they're going to hold. So there's 2 away now. Runners on first and third. One center fielder for Blair. They respected his arm and wasn't deep enough to score. And it's going to be Dave Concepcion. Dave Concepcion. Eddie Watt. It's a 2-8. A 2-8 is a ground ball hit right at Belanger. Belanger flips over to second, and that's a 3rd out of the inning. So they retire Concepcion on a force out. And after 7.5, it's Cincinnati 6 and Baltimore 3. A new pitcher for the Reds. It'll be Granger. Granger's coming in for the Reds. Granger's in there for the Reds. And bottom of the 8th. Yep. Okay. And Granger's going to pitch to Powell, Rettenmund, and Brooks Robinson. So Book Powell is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Here's the pitch from Granger. It's 5-4. It's a fly ball center field. Tolan is at 2. We rolled a 10 on the 20-sided die. It's going to be a ball that Tolan gets to easily. 1 away. And it's going to be Rettenmund, who's homered. Pitch from Granger. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 is ball 4. Robinson, Granger on at first. Brooks is 1 for 3, singled, scored a run. And it's 4-9. 4-9 is going to be a split die. A 7 is a line drive base hit. Falls in there for a single. So Robinson's on at first, and Redmond is going to hustle over to third. Be Davey Johnson, first and third. Davey Johnson batted .281 with 27 doubles, 1 triple, and 10 home runs. Just a pitch from Granger. It's a 3-4. 3-4 is going to be a hard hit ground ball to Perez. Perez over to Helms, back to May, double play. And the Reds turn a double play to get out of the bottom of the 8th. And we go to the top of the 9th, 6-3 Cincinnati. And we're going to see pinch hitter for Granger, Stewart. Top of the 9th. Jim Stewart. And Eddie Watt is still in there for Baltimore. And it's a 5-5. It's a ground ball to Johnson. 1 away. Bobby Tolan. Tolan's 1 for 4. Scored a run, drove in a run. And it's 4-9. Fly ball. Blair. 2 away. And Pete Rose. Here's the pitch from Watt. 2-4. Fly ball. Right field. Frank Robinson under it. And that's the 3rd out. 6-3, we go to the bottom of the 9th. Due up for Baltimore is Echebarren, the pitcher spot, and Belanger. Carroll's going to be the pitcher for the Reds. Clay Carroll for the Reds, pitching for the Reds against Andy Echebarren. And it looks like on deck is Buford. And here's going to be the pitch to Echebarren from Carroll. It's a 3-11. A 3-11 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Concepcion. Concepcion handles it easy. And over to the first baseman, 1 away. Don Buford for Watt. One away now, the bottom of the 9th. 6-3 Cincinnati. And that's a 4-6. A 4-6 is a pop-up in the infield to the left side. Shortstop, Concepcion, makes the catch. 2 away now. And it's Mark Belanger, the leadoff batter. He's 2 for 4 on the day. It's a pitch from Carroll. And it's a 4-8 off Carroll's card. It's a fly ball. This will do it. Rose comes in, makes the catch. Game over. So Cincinnati, in a do or die game comes out ahead, wins it 6-3, and the series is now 3-2 Baltimore. Final for this game, Game 5 of the 1970 World Series replay at Memorial Stadium, is 6-3. We go to Game 6 back in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium. See you guys soon.